Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's action figure showcase, we are going to take a look at my Undertaker collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm going to take a look at all of my Undertaker figures because we have a ton. And admittedly, I don't know which series, which Undertakers are from. We've gotten a lot of modern Takers in his singlet look that basically all look the same besides the logo on the side. So with my collection, especially since I got in late, I've just kind of picked up Undertakers here and there, and I've swapped around a lot of pieces. So really, I'm just going to kind of show you guys what I have as opposed to like talking about which series, because for the most part, I don't have a clue. This first one here, I just threw it up here because it's custom. I've kind of used spare parts, and I like to pose. So we've got one of the heads from his Ultimate Edition, I think. And I don't think this head fits for the time frame for that Ultimate Edition. It's more like a modern Undertaker head with the tongue out, but I like that we've gotten it. I like that they gave us the like throat cutting thumb hand, and we've gotten the hands we need. What I really want is an Ultimate Edition with the drop down hip so that I can do his pose with this head. Like I could put this head on the old body, but it's not going to match up. So eventually, I think we'll get that. We get Undertakers by the clip. So here's just a custom of mine, and from here on out, we're gonna kind of go in chronological order. But just figured I'd start with this one. Next up are a couple of Undertakers. We've got the Ultimate Edition, the new Ultimate Edition on the right with that more tan skin tone, and then we've got I don't remember. I think it's maybe a Legends figure. I don't remember when we got this Undertaker, if it was a part of like a Survivor Series set or something, but they're basically the same time frame. The Ultimate Edition, I just think, has some huge upgrades. The coat, the hands are swappable. We've got the, which these might be swappable too, but these are in the actual hand mold, or excuse me, glove mold. The boots are different. These are a molded piece instead of like being a layover for the boots. So this Ultimate Edition is an awesome upgrade. I do like that this has the tan skin, this has the pale skin tone. Whatever you are happier with. I think the tan looks really good. The ties are a little bit different, but I was talking about the Ultimate Edition. It's got the drop down hips, so you can get him into his like post-match pose where he's got his hands up, he's looking in the air, and it sits, damn ring, making it difficult. Obviously, he doesn't wear his coat to do this, but you can actually do this. You can actually get him in his pose, just real easy there. And I want to do that with the modern figures so bad. So hopefully we get that, but these are two early looks for Undertaker that, like, even though we get a lot of Undertakers, I think they do them well. And both of these, even though they're pretty close to the same, oh, they also came with hats, sorry. So this one, I believe, came on here. And then the Ultimate Edition, I am pretty sure just came with the plain black. So very similar, but I really think they knock Undertaker out of the park. So when they make little changes like they did with the Ultimate Edition, I think it makes a huge difference. I completely missed this guy. I said we were going to go in chronological order, and I forgot the earliest rendition of Mean Mark that we have, and that is the Mean Mark Callus. And shout out to the guy on Facebook in different groups who has like 200 of these that he is trying to sell. I bought a bunch of these for spare parts when they were like $6.50. I have a ton of Mean Mark bodies that I've used, and it was a wicked peg warmer, but this is a really nice figure. Mean Mark was well before my time as a wrestling fan even, and obviously not everyone's a customizer. This is a cool, I think it's a really good figure, but such a weird niche character for Mean Mark Callous. Most people, I would assume most fans nowadays have no clue who this was. You could put them right next to each other, they wouldn't have a clue that it's the Undertaker. Obviously, he's even retired now, so younger generation are going to go to Target and be like, yeah, give me Mean Mark. But I think this figure's fantastic. I think the head scan's really nice. The body, I think, like, just top to bottom, I think this is a really nice figure, and maybe a little underrated because it warmed so hard. Next up is the Target 3-pack, and then the Lost Legends series Undertaker. We've gotten a lot of these. So the Target 3-pack is a fantastic figure. That's when we first got this tan skin tone on Undertaker. I really like the hair in his face, head scan. Like I said, the changes we get with Undertaker are typically pretty small. So we've gotten Undertaker with his sleeves like this, where they are like kind of look like ripped on the end. This one does not have those. He's just got like the cutoff right there, and it's just kind of straight. Undertaker wore this in gray and purple mostly, so obviously that Lost Legends there is the purple, but like that debut one has the black gloves. And for the most part, when he started out, that's like about all we got. I wish we got more from the new generation. We did get the Defining Moments figure in his like bat costume, which I would love if they re-released that one. It's just such a weird time, but I think that outfit he has really captures his new generation look really well. Of course, we're probably going to get more of these in purple. I could see, like, honestly, I'm a little maybe surprised we didn't get just like purple thrown in, but I guess purple wouldn't have made sense with the leg layovers. So just disregard that comment. Now it made sense in my head pretty quick. Nonetheless, more of the same, but still good figures, I think, from Mattel with these Undertakers. Next up, we have the Ultimate Edition, the first Ultimate Edition we got of Undertaker, and then I've got the Legends figure. So the Legends figure has the same body as this one in the middle. It's the Elite version, though, so it's got the Elite articulation, and then there's no no detail. That's what I meant. No detail on like the X's and the shoulders up here. It's just plain black. So I didn't take the layover, the rubber coat off. I do like the rubber coat. I think it looks really good. I think that Undertaker is someone who they need to do his coats in rubber because there's so much detail to them. And I like that. I like with the Ultimate Edition. I knew that was going to happen. He's not very stable over here. I think it looks fantastic. Come on. Okay, we'll be very careful. We'll see how long we can make it. I think it looks... rest in peace to him. He's just staying down. I think it looks really good. Or I guess I could hold it up to the camera. That works too. Anyway, let's try that again. I think it looks really good with the jacket on. I think the body looks a little bit wonky the way they did this. Like the midsection is a little too skinny, but... on my shelf, I think this is one of my favorite Undertaker figures. This jacket from WrestleMania, I just think looks so good. I know some people are not as fond of that head scan, but I think it's a really, not really good, but I think it's a good representation. I like that the hair hangs down. It did look way more like Michael Jackson in the initial pictures we got of him. So this one is dremeled out to fit a little bit better. It sits high because that jacket is pretty big, but some decent representations of Undertaker there. Next up are some Ministry of Darkness Undertakers, and I think as far as detail and look, these are easily some of my favorites that we've gotten of Undertaker. They're just so unique, such a different look, especially the one in the middle. So that is the second, I think, Defining Moments we got of Undertaker, and there was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And I think with that one, the eyes were painted white. So what I ended up doing with this one over here was kind of going with that look. I painted his eyes white. That is the Toys R Us Network Spotlight. So underneath that robe, we have... Wow, this head is super loose. We have this look, which is one that people had been asking for in a while, for a while. I think when we got it, it was a little disappointing, and then we ended up getting the Ultimate Edition later, which kind of made it like that was more what people wanted. I think that one, I like the torso. I think the fit for the torso is better. Like, I think they could have made up top a little more broad, like they did with the Legends figure, with that. So I guess I didn't talk about it a lot when I was first showing it, but I think that one is a little too skinny. The figure in the middle is so cool. There's so much detail with the robe. Like, there's a lot going on there, and I think they captured the detail well. They've got, like, his boots are really cool. They didn't cheap out on the boots. We've got this, and it is really difficult to get that off. So I will do it off camera and bring it back here, but I didn't want to show the Legends figure real quick. So they gave him kind of like the same idea as that Network Spotlight, where he's got the kind of like the baggy shirt, and I think they captured that baggy shirt look here a little better as opposed to like the skinnier way they did it here. But let's get the rubber overlay, cape. There we go. Let's get the cape off, talk a little bit more about those details. I forgot how much I hated taking off that cape. That was a pain. I'm glad we have swappable heads now, but I love this figure. I think they did a really good job. It would not be a shock to me if we got a redo in like the greatest hits, but I love that they shaded the hair differently up top here. You know, we don't always get that with Mattel, but this was a figure, I think they knocked that one out of the park. I love all the details. Not my favorite period for Undertaker, but definitely a good look. And then this one was a surprise to me. I kind of forgot about like that specific time period when I thought about the Ministry of Darkness. So I thought it was cool we got that, and I think that head scan captures it really well. He was teaming with the Big Show a little bit. We are getting that in the greatest hits line. Just got the upgraded arms, and I think it was in the Hall of Champions line originally at Target, so it was one of those exclusives that was hard to find, but glad we're getting a redo of that. Next up are a couple of big evil Undertakers, and I know that was not everyone's favorite. I always thought it was really cool. I loved that he like changed his look up so much. I did think like I grew up with like OG Dead Man Undertaker, and then like the Ministry of Darkness stuff was just kind of crazy. So then for him to like slowly get away from that and then just come back as Biker Taker, I thought was really cool. I always like his name. He was the American Badass, and I thought he was badass. So I never had an issue with Biker Taker. I have done a lot of fixing up. So obviously the big evil one is like a straight up custom. This one, I took a Jack's head, and it does have the ponytail on it. And then I gave a dry brush and a dark wash to the jeans because they were really lazy with that jean look. And with I didn't even pick up the Ruthless Aggression Undertaker because I hate the jeans on it. I don't like that there's no wash or anything, and it just looks like a cheap blue. And this one, I feel like the dry brush to it makes it look so much better. I love that it's got like kind of the stressed jean look. Got it on the back too, and it's kind of hard to pick up on camera sometimes, but I was really happy with this. Obviously that's just the first kind of look for him. And then this one, I saw someone else do the custom. I need to fix the decals. The decals like chipped a little bit. I need to paint over them, but I wanted, man, I can't remember who, like Mac Decals maybe did a custom like this. So this one, that Jack's head too, no bandana or no ponytail on this one. It's kind of short hair, I guess, but got the Dead Man on it. And then there he is. He's just that t-shirt look. So a couple of really cool Undertakers in the collection. Next up, more Biker Taker. This time we've got the SummerSlam Undertaker. It was the ringside exclusive. And then we've got one of I think it was Elite 55. We got this Biker Taker, but I swapped an old Jack's head on that had the bandana molded on. I really like this head scan. Jax gave us a few different versions of Biker Undertaker, and I really like that they have the bandana on there. So swapped that over. I painted white under the elbow pad. I think it was he kind of looked like he had this look when he fought not Undertaker, when he fought Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, which is one of my favorite Ruthless Aggression matches. So kind of based that off that. And then with the SummerSlam one, I dremeled the head out so it fit a little smaller, and then he did come with the hat and sunglasses, but the glasses didn't stay on. So I bought a couple of these so that I could get the WCW belts, and what I ended up doing was just using a little bit of super glue to keep both the glasses and the hat on, so those don't come off. He just kind of keeps that look. But then I have the swappable head too, so a little bit of fixing up here really makes a nice difference, I think. Moving on to the more modern look of Undertaker, I've got the modern Taker. Like I said, I don't know what series these were from. We've gotten a lot, but this one has just the gray demon on the side, and I've always liked this head scan. I think we did get it on an Elite. I took it from a basic and put it on here. I would like to see that one re-released. And then this one is, I took a Biker Taker. I think it was the Elite or WrestleMania 32 Elite Undertaker that came with, it was him and Brock Lesnar in a set. This Undertaker that's fallen over back here is driving me nuts. So what I did was just take one of the basic heads, I think it was a WrestleMania Heritage, and put it on there. And that was when he kind of returned back to the dead man gimmick. He still had the jeans and singlet look, but he fought Kane. It was WrestleMania 20 after he had been buried alive. So he came back, kind of growing that hair out again, but it wasn't super long. So he was like kind of a middle between biker and dead man looks. And that's one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time, WrestleMania 20. So I had to have that in my collection. It was a simple fix-up. So next up, we have the greatest hits, and then we have the original version. So I had already made a custom fix-up of this Undertaker. I chose this one because it had like the most like the deco on the side, the logo on the side stood out the most. We've gotten like some purple. We had the Rest in Peace Paul Bearer one, which I have somewhere. I couldn't find it from when he fought CM Punk at WrestleMania. But this one I was like, what the heck? I think this one just looks the most different of his modern looks. So I gave him some double jointed arms. I had swapped his head, and then we got that figure, that exact figure in the greatest hits line. So I did end up buying it because I didn't have a coat for him, and then I just ended up putting different heads on them. So same exact figure that we got for Undertaker. And I thought about just getting something from some decals from Curb Stomp, changing it up a little bit, but that's not a huge deal, just around the corner. Nice figure though. I like the double jointed arms. Swappable hands with Undertaker is huge, especially if we do like any pictures or pick fetting. I think having the choke hands, the choke slam hands, the rest in peace, like the throat hands, just so many different things, I think really makes the Undertaker figures way more expressive. Next here we have WrestleMania 30 Undertaker, and then we have one of the more recent releases for Undertaker. I think it was maybe like a Walmart exclusive. We got in his, I'm trying to remember, I think it was like Extreme Rules or something that he teamed up. Am I making this up? Did he team up with Roman Reigns or something at Extreme Rules after WrestleMania? I don't remember. I remember he wanted to like have another match after, I think it was after WrestleMania. He had that terrible match with Roman, where it was like clear that he had lost a step or two, and then kind of made up for it with a banger of a match with, I think he teamed with Roman, and then they fought like Shane McMahon and someone. Anyway, I really like the figure. I love the Jeepers Creepers coat that we get him. I do have, there's a matching hat somewhere. I just couldn't find it. These Undertaker hats don't really stick on, they just kind of sit on there, but they gave him an updated torso, which was really cool. Mattel, you know, they work with what they can budget wise, but sometimes they have to cut corners maybe a little bit, and they didn't do that on this Undertaker, which I appreciated. I really like the updated head scan that we'd gotten with him. And then the WrestleMania 30s from the Toys R Us Elite WrestleMania line. So this was when the streak broke. Obviously, we get the rubber coat, and it is a solid one. So, I've said I like Undertaker's coat's rubber because we get more detail, but all they did was paint the detail on there. So, I would have rather gotten cloth for that one. Nonetheless, this was just a different look for him. He's got the mohawk, he's got the goatee, and then obviously we've got the demon on that side. He's got the, like, I don't know, the like voodoo necklace with his logo on there, but it's most notable because that's when the streak ended. And I still remember exactly where I was at my friend's apartment and watching with like his dad and cousins, and my mouth just dropped. I didn't know how to react when he lost, which was not uncommon for that WrestleMania, but it's cool to be able to commemorate cool moments like that. Then the last Undertaker that I have today is from the Boneyard match, and this figure is awesome. The Boneyard match in and of itself was really cool, and I don't know, for some reason I didn't expect to get a figure of this, but it came with the old man Taker head scan. This head scan is beautiful. Like, that likeness is spot on. Removable bandana. It's got the ponytail in the back. I don't know what else they really could have done with this figure. I just think it is a spot-on representation. Got to get the bandana back on. A spot-on representation of Undertaker. I like the rubber vest. Like, maybe that could have been a little slimmer, but even with, like, you get a big guy like Undertaker and he's large, it doesn't bother me that much. He has pinless legs, which I feel like was one of the first versions we got, and it looks very good. They got like all the stud details on there. Just an awesome figure, and obviously it's not like normal wrestling gear, which I do typically prefer, but overall a really cool figure. And he came with swappable hands too, I think. I had just talked recently about trying to remember which wave, and someone had commented that it was Elite 87 that was fully pinless. And I think this Undertaker was around there. I like had went back and looked, and Undertaker was one of those first figures that had the pinless arms and legs. Are these arms pinless yet? No, it's just the legs. Anyway, I don't even know if what I was saying was accurate. I could be remembering that completely wrong. That is everything for today's Undertaker showcase. I am going to do Kane. I had thought about doing them together, but that would have been a crap ton of figures because I had more Undertakers than I realized. So if you want to go check out some more action figure showcases, I have plenty on the channel. There's plenty more to come. I think for episode 50, which we're not quite there, going to be a few more months, but once we do get there, my thought is to do a showcase with every single custom in my collection. So that is a lot. I'm still debating on whether or not, but I think that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So anyway, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.